So if you're a person who uses the internet, you've probably been inundated with ads for consumer genetic tests, promising you all the untold secrets of your genome. And you might have wondered, what do I get for my money? Genetic tests usually come in one of three varieties. Each provides a little bit more information than the last, and the costs tend to escalate from there. Let's start with the most common, which are the tests offered by 23andMe and Ancestry. There are about 6.4 billion individual letters in the human genome. These tests don't read all of that. In fact, they don't even read 1% of it. Instead, they use a process called genotyping, which looks only at a pre-specified list of genetic variants which are known to be tied to certain traits or certain disease risks. That means if you take them, you'll get information about your particular risk of a certain kind of cancer or Parkinson's disease, but you're not going to get a flash drive that contains your whole genome. And genotyping is the cheapest option when it comes to consumer genetic testing. Depending on discounts and coupons, this will run you between $100 and $200. Next up the chain is what you might get from companies like Helix and Color Genomics. These tests go beyond genotyping and instead look at the exome, which is the universe of genes that we know encode for specific proteins in the body. Where genotyping might give you scattered pages from the book that is the human genome, this is turning up whole chapters. Now that's still a tiny fraction of the whole genome, but it's thought to cover the vast majority of genetic mutations that actually play a role in human disease. So that means you're casting a much wider net than you're getting with genotyping. And these tests, again depending on sales and discounts, cost around $300 a pop. And finally, of course, is whole genome sequencing, the process of mapping each of those 6 billion letters into a huge database. Now, scientists have been doing this for decades, but only fairly recently has the technology gotten cheap enough to where everyday consumers can possibly pay for whole genome sequencing. So if you go this route, you're getting about 100 times more data than you're getting with those other tests. But it's worth noting, a thing about the human genome is that we still don't know what a lot of it is for. That means that even though you'll get a bunch of data, it might not actually be that useful. There's a lot of different business models in this space, but in general, you're going to pay upwards of $500 to get your whole genome sequenced. So in genetic testing, as in all things, you get what you pay for. Just make sure you actually want what you're going to get.